Hey there, and welcome to Adventures in Glass with Doug. That's me. We've got another project in the works. I think I have found enough pieces that look like they'll go together to make what I think I'll call the Red Queen, or something to that effect. This one's not going to have any light effects in it. It's just going to be one of my standard glass sculptures that I think you'll like it. If you're new to the channel, do read the description. You can find a list of the supplies that I use and recommendations I have. In fact, I'm waiting for something you'd be surprised that I'm out of, and that is my 1-inch glass marbles. For some reason, I had a nice supply of them, and I've managed to use them all. So I'm waiting for delivery from Amazon today or tomorrow of the glass marbles, which is going to be a topper on this project that we'll have to wait for. But we can get some of this done in the meantime. And it may take a couple of breaks, because I do like to make sure, if I'm using a lot of pieces, that they dry in between my applications. Because if you have too many pieces stacked up while the silicone is not completely dry, things will slip and slide a little bit, and you're going to find it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to. All right, what do we have today? Well, again, some of my essentials are that the adhesive I use, and you can find a link in my description, is 100% silicone. Works well for me. I like using it. You could try other kinds of adhesives, epoxies and that sort of thing, but I'm very familiar with this and I like this. And if you noticed in my rather long previous video where I was trying to rescue some of the damaged pieces, and by the way, sorry, I didn't really do a very good job of getting my camera angle just right on that, but you can see that it does allow you to take broken pieces apart and clean them up and rework your piece again, to salvage a few things. All right, so enough of that. We've got our silicone adhesive. We have our pieces other than our glass marble, and we're going to get started. So what do we have? Well, if you watch this channel enough, you know I usually like to make sure my sculptures are stable. They have a solid base that won't rock and tip and knock over. So, and especially when they're a piece that is a vase that has an open top, and most of them are, I like to close that off. I have in the past used some sturdy pieces like this and not put a plate underneath them, but for me, it just is more stable to have a base plate and close off that bottom. The other thing is, when you're looking at glass, most of it's about the same thickness, but some pieces, especially when you're talking about drinkware and some of the less expensive vases, are not a very heavy gauge, I guess, if you will, glass, and they're very thin and they aren't real supportive. So sometimes it helps having something else to support that lower edge so it won't break or chip or fail on you. I will also point out, I think I've mentioned it before, when you're looking for pieces, you need to be sure you're getting, that you know what you're getting. Some of the glassware is tinted glass that is actually manufactured with that color as part of it. And usually your stemware, your drinkware is that way, because this is going to be used a lot, and you don't want to see the finish come off of that. But in some of these less expensive vases that you find, ones that would be an arrangement that you might have gotten from someone delivered by one of the florists, they're not always true colored glass. They have a finish that's been applied to them, and some of the ways you can tell that, this one you can begin to see as you look in the base. Often the base does not have that color on it, or it's been scuffed up a lot more, and you can see that it really was a color that was applied to it, and that's the case with this. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just you have to be aware that you might lose some color, and if you're using any solvents with it, it might take that away. I use often, because of the price tags and stickers that are on the bases of these, I'll use something like Goo Gone to remove that sticky residue from the tape. But you have to be careful. I've done that sometimes, and I've actually taken off whatever that tinting was on the glass. So you have to be careful of that. And as I said, you're going to see nicks and scratches on it sometimes from those. But, you know, we're working with glass that we're only maybe paying a couple bucks for. And if that works on your sculpture, then you'll be fine. Just be aware. Okay, where we're going to go with this is I have the base plate that I'm going to try and attach this to. And after we get that fastened in, and this is a textured plate, so I'm going to have to be careful. If I don't match smooth surface to smooth surface, I need to be careful that I'm getting enough of the silicone to seal that edge, because you've got a rippled bottom surface here. And I've got this plate that I want to add to that. I think it's kind of cool. I've got a choice of either going curving up or curving down. And I think because of the textured surface of this, to me, it looks a little better with that side up, because it ripples and shows a little bit more dimension to the glass. So I'm probably going to do that one that way. Much as I like the look of this way, it does not seem to want to fit that way without rocking. Obviously, it has to dry. I think the last piece is I need to put a marble on top that I'm probably going to make somewhere between red and gold. I'm not sure yet what final color. Well, we're in luck. I checked my salvage pile that's still out back, found that I did have a marble that broke off of a previous probably one of my hanging sculptures that got smashed, and it was sort of in the red range. So I'm going to clean this up, and we'll go ahead and color this up. Okay, so here's the process, which I know you're familiar with. And then I take my caps from the silicone and I cut them down just a little bit so I can perch my marble on top and then work with it. And yes, the alcohol inks always run. Now I'm trying to match the red. Okay, time to put that marble on. And I think we're done with this one.